7 o'clock news bulletin live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Upon royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, the Omani shooting and military sports teams are honored. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said receives His Excellency the former French President. The Ministry of Education crowns Al-Dhahira Director General of Education as the best in terms of performance in the competition of preserving hygiene and health in school environment. And the Ministry for Environment and Climate Affairs is preparing a study to establish 5 sanctuaries in a number of governorates. Wherever you are watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and now the details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, ordered to honor the Sultan's Armed Forces and national shooting teams, as well as military sports teams that represented the Sultanate in a number of regional and international events during 2017. The honoring came in appreciation for the great achievements in a number of championships and competitions. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received His Excellency Franco Hollande, former President of France, who is currently visiting the Sultanate. After His Highness welcomed the guest, they reviewed the good bilateral relations between the two countries, as well as ways to support existing cooperation. They also focused on latest updates on regional and international arenas. From the Omani side, the meeting was attended by a number of Their Highnesses and Excellencies, government officials, including His Excellency Ambassador Sheikh Hamid bin Ali Al Mani, Chairman of the Global Affairs Department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. From the French side, it was attended by His Excellency Renaud Celine's Ambassador of France to the Sultanate. In the honor of the guest, His Highness Said Fahd held a luncheon, which was attended by accompanying delegation, as well as a number of officials in the Sultanate. Her Excellency Dr. Madiha bint Ahmed Al-Shaybaniya, Minister of Education, announced the results of competitions of preserving hygiene and health in school environment for the current academic year. Her Excellency also announced the beginning of a new stage of the competition, as well as changing its title starting from the next academic year to Competition of Sultan Qaboos Award for Sustainable Development in School Environment. She added that the Director General of Education in the Governorate of Al-Dhahira was crowned as the best Director General in terms of performance in the competition of preserving hygiene and health in school environment. The Petroleum Development Oman opened MAF Solar Car Park project in Al Fahl port. The project aims to support economic sustainability as well as develop Omani capabilities in solar energy field. The power capacity of the project is 6 megawatts per hour, and it will provide more than 3 million cubic meters of gas annually, equivalent of providing electricity for almost 1,000 houses. This project will also reduce CO2 emissions by around 7,000 tons per year. Within this project, around 20,000 solar cells will be installed on car parking shades in an area of 38,000 square meters. The opening ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Mohammed bin Saleh Matobi, Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs.
So we've just completed the installation of, or in the final phases of completing installation of 19,500 panels. They'll generate 6,000 kilowatts, 6 megawatts effectively at peak capacity. Essentially the same amount of power that could fuel 1,000 homes. We're targeting the creation of 17,000 jobs across within the oil and gas and other sectors. In 2017 we created 14,000 opportunities, 17,000 this year. A number of those will be associated with solar, but it's going to be a slow, gradual startup until we establish the full supply chain. So we're very confident. Well, as I say, at the end of the month we'll be tendering for 100 megawatts, so much bigger than this, within a concession area. I know that the OPWP will be tendering for 500 megawatts to be built in Ibri or thereabouts, probably by the end of March. So a lot is happening in Oman, and we want to be part of that.
That was Raul, Director or Managing Director of the PDO. The Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs is preparing a study to establish 5 sanctuaries that will be announced soon in a number of governorates. This was stressed by His Excellency Mohammed bin Salem Al Tobi, Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs, in a statement to the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television. He added that the ministry is issuing environment clearances in a short time, 30 minutes for small enterprises and 30 working days for the big projects. Studying a suggestion on the Omani theatre and its role in the society topped the discussions of the State Council Office meeting today. The Council Office also discussed during hosting the chairman of the Culture, Media and Tourism Committee. They presented suggestions to study and review the challenges and difficulties facing the theatre, as well as finding solutions to develop its role. His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfouz Al-Mandhari, chairman of the State Council, chaired the meeting. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. An ancient Iranian fine arts exhibition is being held in Muscat. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Palestinian officials voiced outrage today following President Donald Trump's threat to cut funding to the Palestinian Authority, calling his tweets blackmail. In a Twitter post yesterday, Trump expressed frustration over the lack of progress in his attempts to broker peace between Israeli and the Palestinians and pointed his finger at the Palestinians. Trump said they pay the Palestinians hundreds of millions of dollars a year and get no appreciation or respect. Trump upset the Palestinians last month by recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital and announcing plans to move the U.S. embassy to the holy city. International support for the Palestinians increased sharply after the creation of the Palestinian Authority in 1994, an autonomy government that was meant to last for 5 years as a prelude to a final peace deal. The U.S., as one of the largest donors to the Palestinians, could inflict great pain on them by cutting off aid, yet it could also have a negative effect on Israel, which also relies on the Palestinian Authority to help maintain calm. South Korea said today it welcomed North Korea's decision to restore a key cross-border communication channel. The South's Unification Ministry said it will try to use the communication channel at the border village of Panmunjom to discuss its offer to hold high-level talks on how to cooperate with the North during next month's Winter Olympics in the South. Seoul yesterday proposed the rivals meet at Panmunjom on January 9th, but Pyongyang hasn't responded to its offer. The North's decision to restore the Panmunjom communication channel was met by leader Kim Jong-un. A severe storm packing winds of up to 160 kilometers per hour has battered Britain and Ireland overnight into the day today. The storm, named Eleanor, wiped out rough seas in western Supermare in the west of England, with waves crashing against sea walls and spilling over onto bordering roads. The storm, which included heavy rain, hail and lightning, left tens of thousands of households in Ireland and Britain without power and brought a widespread traffic disruption. Overturned vehicles forced officials to close portions of 3 major highways in England. The Met Office said gusts reached 160 kilometers per hour in Cumbria, 450 kilometers northwest of London early this morning when the storm reached its peak. In another story, a violent storm packing winds of up to 160 kilometers per hour battered many parts of Western Europe today. Trees were knocked to the ground in Cologne, Germany, and firefighters worked to clear roads of both trees, trunks, and resulting debris. Back to some more local news. The investment performance of the pension fund for the last period topped the discussions of the annual meeting of the Board of Directors of the Minister of Defence Pension Fund. The board reviewed the situation of the real estate investments wallet at the fund, as well as discussed the current and future projects. They also focused on the importance of doubling the efforts to increase production and provide high-quality retirement services. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harab al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the fund, presided over the meeting. The Omani Shooting Association during its meeting today got acquainted with the results of the report of the national shooting team and its achievements on both regional and international levels. It also focused on the annual plans of the team for participating in abroad events, and it took the proper decisions towards them. The minutes of the previous meeting were also approved. It was headed by Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of the Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, Chairman of Board of Directors of Omani Shooting Association. The Ministries of Commerce and Industry, as well as Transport and Communication, signed a memorandum to move 36 sea and land transport activities to be licensed through Invest Easy portal. This step came to facilitate the procedures for the investors, as the government stressed in its statements regarding the state's general budget on the significance of spending or speeding up the procedures of issuance of approvals and permits. Two usufruct agreements of Ateen Oasis and Ateen Walk projects were signed today at the Office of Minister of State and Governor of the FAR. The first agreement included the construction of 84,000 square meters Oasis kiosk complex in the plain of Ateen area under a 50-year contract that includes facilities for recreational activities, commercial facilities, restaurants, and gardens. The second agreements included the construction of a walkway project on an area of 160,000 square meters in the plain of Ateen under a 50-year contract, which includes the establishments of hotels, units, and shops and sports facilities. The agreements with Muscat National Development and Invest were signed by His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of the FAR. An exhibition by Iranian artist Najris Haidari shed light on the beauty of Asfahani art, which is considered one of the ancient Iranian fine arts. It witnessed a wide participation from members of the society. It included various colorful portraits on Arabic calligraphy, as well as the art of gilding and the Holy Quran. The pictures also included some verses of the Holy Quran decorated with colorful shapes. Now, let's have a look at the general forecast around the Sultanate of Oman. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorates of Sharqiya, Al-Wusta, coastal areas of Sea of Oman. Winds will be southerly to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Upon royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, the Omani shooting and military sports teams are honored. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Said Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed receives His Excellency the former French President. Ministry of Education crowns Al-Zahira Director General of Education as the best in terms of performance in the competition of preserving hygiene and health in school environment. And the Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs is preparing a study to establish 5 sanctuaries in a number of governorates. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin. The entire news team and myself, we do thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and good night.